My name is Nicole, and today I'll be doing a short presentation on bioresponses, mindfulness, and managing emotions. By the end of this lesson, you should have a high understanding of these topics and a starting point for your path to growing your emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence in you. It's just mind over matter. As Bernard Baruch once said, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Did you know the physiology or structure of your brain determines how you react to stress or threats? Let me explain further. When it comes to our brains, it's not all black and white. In fact, it's all gray and white. While our brains are structured into different areas, today we're going to focus on just two and how they impact our daily life and decision making. These are our frontal lobes and our limbic system. So, what do these sections do for you? Our limbic system houses our unconscious functions, such as feeding, reproducing, memories, and our instincts on how to react to threats, which is referred to as bioresponses. As for our frontal lobes, they assist in our rational thinking, emotional intelligence, decision-making, and empathy. Let's review the limbic system first. As I just mentioned, our limbic system controls our bioresponses, which is how our body subconsciously reacts to threatening or stressful events. In fact, everyday situations are your bioresponse. Have you ever been cut off in traffic, reprimanded at work, tested poorly, or been rejected? I think we all have. Now, how do those situations make you feel? Did your palms get clammy? Could you feel your heart beat faster? Your skin flush? These responses are due to the release of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, and they can make us feel stressed. But why? We've all heard of the primal instincts to stress or threats of fight or flight. But are there any other options? Absolutely. Studies show that we have more than just these two reactions. Let's take a look at fight, flight, freeze, and appease. What are your natural bioresponse tendencies when you face a threat? Do you confront it head on and escalate the situation? Do you avoid it and run or hide? Maybe you retreat within yourself and shut down. Possibly you try to pacify and placate the instigator. Knowing how we naturally react will aid us in becoming more mindful. Now that we've briefly touched on the limbic system, let's review the frontal lobes. As previously discussed, they assist in our rational thinking, emotional intelligence, decision-making, and empathy. But how? By knowing how to handle a threat. Due to the limbic system, your body reacts to all threats in the same way. It's up to our frontal lobes to determine if the threat is real or perceived. By looking at the difference between perceived danger and actual danger, you can fundamentally change your reaction. Real threats are life-threatening. They have a risk to your personal safety, and they can be hazardous to your health. Some of these examples include physical assaults, wild animal attacks, and natural disasters. On the other hand, perceived threats are subjective. They're emotionally driven and they're intangible. Some examples of these are public speaking, verbal confrontations, or fear of the unknown and changes. What we perceive as a threat may not actually be one at all. It's all about your perspective. Now that you have a gist of how your limbic system and frontal lobes operate, but how is this understanding helpful? Because understanding is taking control. By understanding how our brains work and what our bioresponses are, we can better manage our emotions and practice mindfulness, which can lead to us managing our stress rather than our stress managing us. But what is mindfulness? Being mindful means utilizing your frontal lobe, or higher thinking power, to face perceived threats and respond appropriately. can also mean paying attention in a particular way on purpose in the present moment without judgment. But why should we practice mindfulness? Because it can help promote healthier communications with your friends, family, and coworkers. It can also help alleviate stress and make you better prepared to face challenges. Practicing mindfulness can lead to a number of additional benefits, such as increasing your empathy, lowering your blood pressure, and strengthening your memory, just to name a few. So, how can you practice being mindful? Be present, be calm, breathe, but most importantly, manage your emotions. Now, I know managing our emotions can be easier said than done. For a lot of people, it can be a real juggling act. Managing emotions is difficult, and everyone has their own struggles. There is no one-size-fits-all best option, and the best thing to do is explore what works best for your individual and unique self. One of the easiest approaches to remember is the STEP process. Stop, take a breath, evaluate, proceed. Taking a moment to manage your emotions regularly and outside of any stressful situation can make the process occur more naturally when triggering events occur. Understanding your bioresponses, practicing mindfulness, and managing your emotions are just a few pieces of the larger puzzle to growing your emotional intelligence. Remember, when it comes to mindfulness and managing emotions, it's called practice. We have to practice a practice if it is to be of any value. And before I leave you, please know that your mind, emotions, and body are instruments, and the way you align and tune them determine how well you play in life. Thank you for your time today, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.